Hi, my name's Wendy Rading. I'm the Executive Director of Arts Etobicoke, and I'm here to talk about our learnings, how we integrated data into our organization, what has changed for us, and hopefully make your journey a bit easier. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to effectively collect, analyze, and visualize data. We also struggled with figuring out how to integrate it into our everyday. How do we maintain some momentum around data collection? Looking back, it was fun because it was creative and we tried to have fun with it, with brainstorming ideas, for example. We enjoyed being creative and working through, at the end of the day, pretty fun questions and problems. How do we insert some questions into activities that we're already doing? But I should say it's way easier now than it was a couple years ago. And that's for a few reasons. Personally, I can go in and somewhat easily pull some data, make a chart and a graph, and send that off to my board and funder. And that's fairly significant because I'm not a data person, and that even a year ago felt intimidating. I didn't feel like I had to know how to do this because I could just ask a team member to do it. Until, of course, one day when I was in a crunch and no one had time to do it, so I dug in. I knew enough from watching others how to work through Looker Studio, which is a free Google data visualization tool, and I went in and I played around. And I had to figure out some really basic things. Like I needed comparisons. I needed data points that could compare against each other. And eventually the data started to develop a narrative. And I needed to clean up and prepare my data in a certain way so it would work for me. So there was definitely some figuring things out. But that was a pivotal moment for me. So the point being is that yes, not everyone in the organization needs to know how to visualize data, but it also doesn't take a data expert to work with data. I'll continue to ask my colleagues because they could definitely do things faster than I can, but the process of figuring it out felt empowering and it helped me to have a better understanding of data and how to use it. So skill level and understanding of data has improved, and that has simply taken a bit of dedicated time, but it's certainly been worth it. It has gotten easier because technology and interfaces have gotten better over the years. There are really simple programs like Looker Studio that I mentioned that do specific basic things really well. And I suspect these platforms will get a lot easier and easier to use as time goes on. And not only has technology gotten easier, but the organizations, not just Arts Etobicoke, but organizations' general data literacy has gotten better. People understand why they need data and what data can do for them. 5 years ago, there was a lot more learning and buy-in that needed to happen. So hopefully you won't need to spend too much time getting staff and board to understand why it's important. But if you do, show them how it helps their job. For our programming staff, they get funding to run a program, and they go and they see, with our data, what the community's been asking for. And certainly, we still rely on our on-the-ground experience working within these communities, but also proof and supporting information only makes decision-making easier. And even if you don't have the graphs and the charts to show you, if staff are out asking these questions, they're already hearing the responses and the needs. Our evaluation forms no longer just look at evaluating current programming, but equally including information about interests and needs for future programs. So we're always being very deliberate in what we're asking whenever we have the opportunity. And everyone now is doing the work. At staff meetings, I don't have to ask, or if I forget to ask, somebody else will ask, what data collection activity are we doing at this event? I don't have to pester, I don't have to remind people. Everyone is taking responsibility for data collection. We are also now at a point where we have been doing this for a couple of years, so we can very easily share back with the community, and this has made data collection much easier as well. We can show them this is what we've heard. For example, people want more music, and specifically this type of music in your community. Do you agree? Is there something else? And this gives people a starting point to join the conversation. We also need to show people, and admittedly we actually need to get better at this, and this is where we're at in the project, show them that we've heard what they're saying, and this is how we're delivering on it. So people can see that we're using this information to help serve them better. And that there are benefits. For example, it means more programs that better align with them and who they are in their community. So there's a benefit for them to contribute to our data collection. And we've developed trust. We've continually showed up in these communities, and we have more engagement and more participants within these communities. So we can start asking more questions because we're no longer strangers. And we're no longer strangers to them, and they're no longer strangers to us. But this has not been an easy process, and we have benefited from a grant that has helped us through this. But we hope we can take some of our learnings and make things easier for you as you take data collection, analysis, and visualization and start making it work for you.